Thank
This
you.
conference will
Thank
now
you.
be recorded.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi,
Okay,
Frank.
first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming, and I'm sure we'll get some more people coming in as the call goes on. Um, the, there's a couple of little ground rules that we'll just set up right away. First off is that if you do ask questions, I just want everybody to know that we're not professionals. We can give our opinion, but we're not professionals. So I do want to let everybody know that part right off the bat. We will give our opinions, and you basically, it, you take it as it comes, because as we all know, sarcoidosis. Everybody has different, prognosis with sarcoidosis. The third thing is there will be times where I'm like just now I just muted. The reason I muted everybody is because we're getting background noise. So if I do mute you, don't get upset. It's just that we're getting background noise so that everybody can talk. Once once I open up the floor, I will unmute a lot of the people. Most of the time I will. But once I hear the background noise, I'll try to find the person, or and we'll try to mute that one person. Okay. I unmuted everybody just so you know right now. Sorry.
Ow,
Well,
sorry.
I just wanted to, first of all, introduce this group, and this is our very first meeting. So please bear with us. We do have a Facebook sarcoidosis online group, and Brenda, I can hear you. Okay. We do have a Facebook group. It's sarcoidosis sarcoidosis national online support group meetings. It's an open group. You can go in, and we will accept you. So what that we also do that because of the phone. On the phone, well, first of all, the people that are on computer or on their phone video chatting, you can see a chat. There's a little chat box. If you have any questions, you could either do it to a specific person, or you can actually do it to everybody, ask everybody a question. But the people on the phone cannot see that. So that's one of the reasons why we made the support group Facebook one. So if you guys on the phone have a question, you could go to that Facebook group and put the question under the post. You'll see a post by me, and we'll try to get to it as soon as possible. We do have a total of 10 moderators. So they'll be in and out. Today we have 5. Yeah, I see 5 so far. We may have more, but I'm going to just introduce them really quickly. There's Kathleen, and then we have Rodney, we have Susie, and we have Brenda. And Brenda's not showing herself today. But so they have 5 moderators today.
Here I am.
Okay.
You see me? Okay. Hello.
All right. Well, I kind of want to give you an idea of what our goals are for this group. First of all, our goals are to reach those people that cannot go to a live group. There are a lot of live support groups, but with our disease, it is very hard for a lot of people to travel, and there's also and a lot of the people, they don't have support groups near them. So this is an opportunity for everybody who doesn't have a close by support group to talk and chat and kind of, if you have any questions or you want to discuss anything, this is an open room. We will be, like you said before, we are recording, and the reason we are recording is because there will be at times we're going to have some doctors come and speak. We're going to have also some mental health professionals come and speak. So this way we record it. So if people do miss it, they can always go back and watch it. and so that they still stay informed. Okay. All right. I think that's it when it comes to with like the goals. Like I said, one of the big things that I started this thing. Main reason I started this is because when I started my own organization, and when I got sarcoidosis, I couldn't find anybody, and it was really tough for me because I was misdiagnosed for so long. Um, that I really didn't feel like I had anybody to talk to. And so I don't want anybody else to feel that way. Our motto is "You are not alone." We want to make sure that everybody knows that we are here for you. We do have this support group, but we all are also on the Facebook page. So if you ever need to get in touch with us, you can do it that way. Um, you can. I already put my email up on the Facebook page. You can always email me, and if I can't get to you, I will make sure one of the other people will be able to do that. Okay. Sorry, I need to quiet this thing down there. So other than that, I'm gonna have people do. We're gonna do a very quick introduction. We're looking like 30 seconds. Basically, say who you are. I'll call your name out and just say who you are, when you were diagnosed, and where you're from. We'll start off with that because we have so many people. Otherwise, it'll get too long. And then if anybody has anything they want to bring up, we will talk about that after we introduce everybody. So I'm going to start it off in order here. I have Kathleen. You can.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kathleen. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis 10 years ago from a punch biopsy 2 times on my leg, as well as a lung biopsy. I've had one full-out lung biopsy, 2 needle biopsies of my lung. I'm from Long Island. I'm with Frank. I was very much alone until I found him, and then everything has just gone on from there. So I look forward to meeting all of you. Thank you.
If I unmute myself. Okay. Next person is Susie. I'm going to ask you to.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Susie Torres, and I was diagnosed in July of 2017, but I believe that I lived a long time with it, being undiagnosed. I was diagnosed through a mediastinoscopy. That's through the lymph nodes in your chest. And I don't know. I also have a YouTube channel called Positively Susie where I do videos about sarcoidosis. Again, like Frank said, I am not a professional by any means of the word. I just share my experiences and things that I have learned along the way.
And where are you from, Susie?
Oh, I'm sorry. I live in Utah. And like Frank and Kathleen, when I was diagnosed, I thought I was the only one on the planet that had it. And so I started the Utah Sarcoidosis Support Group. And there are 30 of us so far. And earlier, there was a little bit of a conversation about who are the people that have sarcoidosis, because there was an observation we don't have a lot of men in here. So I do have some men in my support group here in Utah. However, and I don't know if this is an accurate representation of the world, but in Utah anyway, the men in my group are able to function and go to work, whereas several of the women are not. And so I find that to be a curious little bit of information. I don't know what it means. But anyway, that's me. I'm Susie.
Thank you. Rodney, how about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Rodney Reese. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Diagnosed with sarcoidosis in 2000. But I think I actually contracted the illness in 1997 after some exposures I had at a chemical plant where I worked. Uh, After being diagnosed, I was similar to Frank. I had never heard of the illness, didn't know anyone with it. My primary care physician at the time said he only knew very little about it. Uh, so I eventually started the Sarcoidosis Awareness Support Group of Greater Baton Rouge. And later I started the Sarcoidosis 123 organization, hoping to raise funds to donate for research. That's it, Frank.
Thank you. Okay, Brenda, you there?
Okay, I am unmuted. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Brenda Harris, and I have been diagnosed with pulmonary sarcoidosis for 30 years now. I was diagnosed April of 1989. And at that time, I didn't know anyone with sarcoidosis. So I asked my doctor, I said, can you, give me a support group to speak to? And he told me he didn't know of anyone. I just better get used to the fact that I had a chronic disease, which I didn't even know what he was talking about. So anyway, a couple of years later, I started my own in 1991, Let's Breathe. I also have another disease tacked on called bronchiectasis. That's a secondary disease that's come from sarcoidosis, which has given me a lot of problems right now. I look forward to meeting everyone. And if there's anything you want to ask me about pulmonary sarcoidosis or bronchiectasis, feel free to ask me. Thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you, Brenda. All right, I'm going to have Regina. She's another one of our moderators. She just came in. Can you just give us like a 30-second or something? Who you are, where you're from, and when you were diagnosed.
Hello, everybody. My name is Regina Gordon. I am from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I run the Fort Wayne Sarcoidosis Fort Wayne Support Group. I was diagnosed in 1994. I have pulmonary sarc and skin sarc. And in 2016 was when I started my support group, and it's actually when I actually found real doctors that can help take care of me. I'm here if you need to ask questions or whatever, I am definitely available.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask Barbara to introduce yourself. Barbara, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Barbara. I'm from central Iowa, just northwest of Des Moines. I was hospitalized in April and a month later was diagnosed on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I have pulmonary sarcoidosis, and it has also enlarged my spleen. I think I probably have had it for a few years because I had some unexplained weight loss and some things that they thought were TIAs or migraines, but I think maybe might be sort related.
Okay, thank you, Barbara. I'm going to interrupt this. I have two new callers in here. Okay, could you?
Yeah,
would you
hi.
be able to,
My name's Norman Tor. My brother and his wife referred me to this. So.
Hi, Norman.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on the GoToMeeting thing, but finally figure out how to dial in. So
Okay.
that's a progress.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. Okay, I'm gonna go on with Jennifer. Are you still here, Jen?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Okay. I was diagnosed in 2013 with, is that my background? With
Okay.
pulmonary, you got it, with pulmonary sarc. It's rapidly going. I'm in Wyoming. There's not really a support system here. I'm trying to get it going. That's about it.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Suzanne. Suzanne, are you still here?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm Suzanne Chaffer. I was diagnosed in 1990. Nobody knew anything about it. I was fortunate that I was diagnosed right away by a couple of doctors that were retiring, but they didn't call it pulmonary sarcoidosis, but it was in my lungs, and it progressed to my sinuses, my spine, and down that. I've lived on Long Island my whole life and just retired disabled to Florida last year. So I'm up here on Long Island visiting my kids and grandkids. So it's been interesting to see how the whole internet and all these issues going on with sarcoidosis. So curious to connect the dots if all my medical issues over the last 30 years were actually related to sarcoidosis. So I'm learning.
Well, thank you for coming. Yes, I'm gonna ask Mary. Mary, you there?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mary Morlino, and I'm originally from Massachusetts, but now I live in Maryland. I have cardiac, pulmonary, spleen, lymph nodes, the top ranking ones now. I was diagnosed in 2014 and probably had it for a good 10 years before because I had unexplained heart failure and got a pacemaker defibrillator that's keeping me alive. And so that's the basics. I've gotten really into advocacy here. I moved to DC area specifically for that, so to fight for sarcoidosis with those legislators and stuff. But happy to answer questions and probably will be asking questions.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Amy, you available?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm Amy. I live in Florida. I was diagnosed about 6 years ago, and I think I had it long before that because of the illnesses, and it was actually found actually it's on a fluke from another ultrasound or CT scan. So I was dormant for a couple of years, and then I started getting really bad symptoms for pulmonary sarcoidosis for the last 2.5 years. So that's kind of my story.
Thank you, Amy. Lori, are you available?
Yes, I'm here. This is Lori. I live in Billings, Montana, and I was also just diagnosed this summer due to a random CT scan for something else in July, and I have pulmonary sarcoidosis.
Okay, well, welcome. Lynn? Lynn, are you available?
Oh, yes. Hi. My name's Lynn. I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and I was diagnosed 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome aboard. And
thanks.
Allison.
Hey, my name is Allison. I'm originally from Maine. Now I live in San Diego. I was diagnosed in September 2013. I have neurosarcoid. I actually had double vision, and then I had, let's see, after that, hearing loss, speech, swallow issues, vestibular issues, everything. Basically all cranial nerves. They were about to do a brain biopsy, and I started coughing. They ended up doing a lung bronch, and after doing a chest x-ray, and then they determined that I had sarcoid. So yeah, so it's been a rocky 6 years up and down, but I'm really glad I found the support here. It's really nice to not be alone, and yeah, I'm looking forward to these calls, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much, Allison.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, Patricia. Okay, how about you?
Hi, I'm Pat Clark. I'm from New York. I was diagnosed about 9 years ago. with a lot of, shortness of breath and accelerated heart rate and kind of, those kind of related unexplained symptoms. And finally, I got a diagnosis of pulmonary sarcoidosis. But I think, as most of us know, sarcoidosis can hit anything. So just because it's pulmonary in me, I still have a lot of other symptoms like in the skin and elsewhere, but the major problems are pulmonary. When I was first diagnosed, I kind of ignored it. And as I got more sick, that's when I started to reach out and try to learn more and get support. And I'm very happy to be a part of this group. Um, so thanks, Frank.
Thank you. And Dorothy, Dorothy first.
Yes.
Dorothy first.
I'm sorry, did you say Poppy or Dorothea?
Dorothy first, and then Dorothea.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought you said Dorothy first. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm Dorothea. I was diagnosed with pulmonary sarcoidosis in 1984 at the age of 26. So that's like almost 35 years ago with pulmonary sarcoidosis. And I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Currently, I'm on the West Coast in California, but I am bi-coastal between the both, cities between Los Angeles area and Baltimore. Since my diagnosis, I do believe I had it a lot sooner than it was diagnosed, but today, moving forward, since my diagnosis, I am the talk show host of Let's Talk Sarcoidosis and Let's Talk Sarcoidosis on the Road. All of my episodes can be shown and viewed on my YouTube channel. And also, I am founder of Dorothea McGuire Foundation for Sarcoidosis Education, Inc., as well as I just created a movement called I Am Not My Illness. And basically what that is my team and I will go to different cities, and we'll probably come into a city near you, and we will literally talk about the importance of staying positive and having resources and education about various conditions, chronic and rare diseases. We will also have some type of medical professional there that can provide resources and advice. But really, it's a group that we come together in your city to give you opportunities to meet like-minded people and to share experiences. So that's the whole mission of it, and to empower people who are living with challenges in their life. And that's it. So I'm glad to be on the call today, and thanks, Frank, for all that you do.
Thank you, Dorothea. All right, now we'll try Dorothy. Dorothy, we can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Okay, my name is Dorothy, and I am from Iowa. And I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis in 2002, and primarily it's affected the eyes, the lungs, and I do have cardiac sarcoidosis also. And I also, about a year and a half ago, started the Iowa Sarcoidosis Support Group. And we have had a total of close to 30, but we average around 8 to 10 per meeting because, as you know, not everyone can come. Barbara probably is one there that lives on the other part of Iowa, but people are driving in for it from northern Iowa and eastern Iowa. So it's been very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Janet? Is Janet still here? Nope. Okay. Okay, so how about Victoria?
Hi, this is Victoria Asher. So glad you have this going on. Really need the support. I was just diagnosed in this past April. It's actually an incidental finding. I have the pulmonary sarcoidosis, and I don't know, I'm starting to get a little depressed about my situation. But but I know there's a lot of answers out there, and a lot of people have a lot of knowledge with things. I'm a licensed massage therapist, and that's kind of been going on the back burner. And every day I force myself to get up and do what I got to do anyway. So I'm just really grateful. I guess I'm just feeling a little bit down, so I'm sorry about that. I'm just grateful you guys have the group going on. Thank you.
No need to be sorry. We've all been there.
Okay.
And we're here for each other. And it's great to have you on board. I finally get to talk to you.
Yes, thank you. You too.
I have another Jennifer Manzour. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I
Hi.
just checked in. I saw Susie's post, so I thought I'd check in and see what's going on. I don't know what questions to answer, but
Okay, I'm sorry. Just where you're from, when you've been diagnosed?
okay, I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. I was diagnosed April of 2017, but I had it for 20 years, same symptoms, just progressively getting worse. And now we're doing more testing, as always.
Oh, great. Well, welcome aboard.
Well, thank you.
And Norman.
Oh, you want me to tell my life story here?
In 30 seconds? How's that work?
Okay. Well, about 10 years ago, I used to swim a lot, and I dived off my boat to get an engine. I dropped in the water, and I got about 2 feet down. It's like I went back up. It's like, what's going on here? Took my breath, couldn't dive down. More than 2 feet, I hold my breath, then one doctor after another, and he said, I have this sarcoidosis. I said, great, like, where'd this come from? I never smoked, took drugs, anything like that in my life. And, all I heard was, well, they don't know much about it. So, but hearing people on the phone, it sounds like my issues are definitely not as serious as others, but I do have breath challenges where I have to take deep breaths sometimes, and inhalers, and we call it a nebulizer machine. It really sucks if you want to know the truth.
Yeah,
but,
we know that.
Yeah, so I guess, so I'm going for another CTI scan a couple of days. I've had them the medical center cut my throat and go with cameras in my lungs. I've had several times go in my throat with cameras, take biopsies, and disease doctors diagnose me and all this stuff. But my understanding is that, like I have scarring on my lungs, is that the immune system, instead of curing or healing the scarring, it attacks the scar. So it doesn't really get better. And they had me on prednisone, which I think actually helped me quite a bit. But anyway, still on this side of the ground.
Oh, glad to hear that. Well, and thank you for coming. And I'm sure we'll get to know each other a lot better. Did I miss anyone? I think I got everybody. All right. Well, I wanted to ask if anybody wanted to bring anything up, or like to discuss anything in particular.
Yeah.
Victoria?
Yes, I would. I think somebody actually came in before me. Is that possible?
Did anybody else other than Victoria? Nope. Go ahead, Victoria.
Okay, me being tired. I hate saying that word.
From my experiences alone, of course, this disease does cause fatigue. I'm sure everybody else can vouch for that. If you're on prednisone, it'll cause extreme mood swings. Sometimes you're very hyper, and then other times you just crash. So yeah, unfortunately, that will be. They still haven't really figured out a way to stop the fatigue. I don't know anybody else. You guys have any suggestions?
No.
You know, when I was on prednisone, I'm off it now. I don't think I had fatigue issues. In fact, I think I had issues of. I felt like I could build anything. You know, I had all this energy, and I actually built another room on my house, and it's like I couldn't stop going.
Yeah, the prednisone gives you a lot of energy, fake energy, as I call it. But unfortunately,
Hi, this is Amy.
Yeah,
Oh.
Amy, go ahead.
I recently, for chronic fatigue, I started because I don't have anyone in my area who my pulmonologist didn't know what to do for me. So I've been traveling to the Medical University of South Carolina and seeing Dr. James.
Yes.
And he's like one of the leading experts in sarcoid. He recently prescribed me called armodafinil. And it basically is a medication that they use for people who have a lot of narcolepsy and just chronic fatigue, basically. But according to him, there have been research studies that show that it benefits people with sarcoidosis. And he prescribed that to me in the last 6 weeks, and it has been a game changer for me. So it is a controlled substance, and I'll spell it for you so you guys can look it up. It's ARMODAFINIL.
One more time, please.
Sure. ARMODAF as in Frank, INIL. I take supposedly you're supposed to take a half tab to like start up on it and then go to a full tab. Quite honestly, I only need a half tab. I'm still taking a half tab after 6 weeks. My only issue with it has been is that it really gets you up and going. I mean, I haven't felt this good in 10 years, so it's awesome. But but at the evening time, crash, and when you crash hard. So just know that. I've heard, and I've actually been doing some research on it myself, and again, I am not a physician, but I've heard that it uses so much serotonin that you drop, so that if you take some supplements of L-theanine, that it will help you. I have not tried this yet, but that's just kind of been my negative downside of it so far. But that drop is far worth it for what you can accomplish in one day.
Okay, all right.
It's been a long time.
All right, I gotta see, because I also have other stuff too. I get bipolar too, so I don't know. I'm like surprised. I'm like, with the bipolar, I should have more energy at least.
Yeah,
but at least it's something to make you try.
And yeah, okay. And the other thing is that I don't take prednisone. I wasn't able to take it because of my psychiatric meds. So I've been taking naltrexone.
Yes.
A low dose of that, and that's been really helping a lot. But it doesn't matter like what dose I go on, I'm still tired. But I was even tired before I was on it.
Well,
so that's how I kind of thought something was going on with me. That I'm not normally that tired, and I'm just like, I'm tired, I'm out of breath. And, with me, they just found it was like an incidental finding with finding out that I had the sarcoidosis. They just happened to find it.
Yeah, Victoria. Yeah. One of the main side effects for sarcoidosis is the fatigue, and I've been to many conferences where they have spoke about it, and a lot of the people that I know that are in this in this room right now have been to some of the conferences, and they're still trying to work on it. It's really something that they haven't been able to figure out what is definitely, going to help it. So if I do hear anything, or if any of us hear anything, we'll definitely put it out there for everybody else. And
Okay.
I wanted to let
Thank you.
yeah, go ahead. Somebody else wanted to talk?
It's Alice. Sorry, it's Alice in San Diego. I was just going to say, years ago, I had a pulmonologist that actually had read some studies about Adderall, and I was on that for a while. And it did help me a lot with my fatigue. I know it's going to amp you up a little bit, but that helped me for a long time. Eventually, they had to stop it because I have a high heart rate.
Yeah.
And they're not really sure the exact reason why my heart rate's high. They're always trying to figure that out. Probably from the steroids and a combination of other factors. So I stopped it, but it did help for a while. So there's, obviously other drugs. But.
All right, I just want to interrupt for 1 second. We have a new person.
Thank you.
LaShawn, are you there? There's a little microphone button on the control panel.
Oh.
There you are.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, like 30 seconds, like who you are, where you're from, and when you got diagnosed?
I'm from Rowland, North Carolina, and I was diagnosed in 2001, if I'm not mistaken. 2001. So I've been living with this for a long time. I'm on oxygen now. Currently, it got worse a couple of years ago. I can't remember what year, but I've been on oxygen really all my life.
Oh. Well, welcome to the group.
I have a question, if
Thank
it's
you.
okay.
Thank you. I'm hard of hearing too, so I'm trying to understand y'all.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
All right. Who asked about a question?
I did, Jen.
Okay, go ahead, Jen.
A lot of you guys have been following me, and I've been talking to a lot of you guys. You guys know kind of the road I've been going on, and those that I don't know, hello. The question I have is, has any doctor been able to state how come some people have like hardly any symptoms, can work, can do whatever? Some people have some symptoms and, can't work. Some people have to be on the oxygen or whatever, and some people, there's no other way to put it, are going to end up or are terminal. They all of a sudden out of nowhere get onto a road that is not expected. Has anybody ever said anything about how this is? Because I'm listening to people as they're introducing themselves and they've had it for 20 plus years. How is it that some can go that long and the others just can't, and some are no symptoms at all?
Yeah, well, from my point of view of it is, it's how early you are detected is first and foremost. That usually will help. The second thing is, like they call it the snowflake disease for a reason. Everybody is different. Unfortunately, some of us get it worse than others. Some people, if you look at the statistics, they say 70% now are not even chronic. So it's really, unfortunately, it's one of those things where they don't even know, because each person is different. So it's very hard to do each person. You can't really match up to another person, unfortunately. Jen, I know how you feel. I've been, as you know, I've been there. All I can say is really, it's just what I do is take every day, one day at a time, and every day is a win. Kathleen, you had something?
Yeah, for Jen. Jen, I think a lot of it has to do with whether or not we're under stress. I find that mine definitely kicks in when I'm under stress, and then all of a sudden, like it was in my heart 2 years ago. So, but it seems that each one of us is different. Something that we're thinking about, a cold. This weather is horrible for most of us. At least if we're in the cold or the rain or snow and things like that. I think that's one thing that we all have in common, is that our joints really start hurting during that time, and realize that it can go active and then dormant in your body, and then all of a sudden some sort of flare just shoots it up again. So Just reach out.
I didn't want to don't want to interrupt, but I do see we have a new caller in. Can you introduce yourself?
Who, me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not sure how this thing works. I couldn't get on the other part of it.
Okay, and who is this?
My name is Joseph McCauley.
Oh, hi, Joseph. How you doing?
Hi, good. How you doing?
Okay. Can you just say where you're from and when you got diagnosed?
From Long Island, and I got diagnosed in June of 2018.
Oh. I see we have a lot of Long Islanders here.
Hey, Frank, I think there's one other person that wasn't introduced. I see a
Terry.
Terry on here.
Yeah, Terry, are you able to talk?
What happened?
I don't see. I guess she doesn't. Terry, are you able to speak? Okay.
Enable your microphone, Terry. You may have to hit the green icon at the top.
Okay, and I see Trina is here, but I know she's just going to be listening in. I don't think she's able to speak at this time, but she said she was going to listen in. She's also a moderator, just so you guys know, and she's also a FSR ambassador, and she lives in Georgia. All right. Did anybody else want to discuss anything?
Are you talking to me?
Anybody?
Oh, well, I was just trying to see where this lung disease. I mean, what as it progressed slowly. They're really not giving me no lot of information. It's like it's getting worse. And they got me currently on steroids, 10 milligrams, but I'm a diabetic, and I have a lot of problems with that. Taking that medication, I just hurt a lot. So I'm just trying to see what can I do besides having a surgery, what can I do to better my ability to get around and have a social life.
There are other prescriptions that you could try. There's an Actar gel that has been approved for sarcoidosis. And then there's also other medicines that are not really considered approved for sarcoidosis, but they are able to use it. What I can do is I can send you a listing of different types of drugs that would help for that. This way, you can actually ask your doctor if that helps you out.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
This is Dorothea. I do have more so like a poll, just interested in knowing how many of the callers actually get a flu shot annually or flu shot and or pneumococcal shot. I'm just curious to know. I do get mine. The pneumococcal is every 5 years and the flu shot annually, and it has helped me tremendously. So I was just curious as to how many actually do that.
Okay. Before we answer that one, we have 2 new callers in here.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, caller. Would you be able to introduce yourself?
Hi, it's Amy from Florida, and I just got disconnected, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm back in. Sorry.
There is another one too.
I just joined. My name's Lisa, and I'm from Minnesota.
Hi, Lisa. Can you just introduce yourself and well, we know you're from Minnesota now, but when you were diagnosed?
I was diagnosed in 2016.
Okay. And welcome aboard. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right. So now we're back to the question, Dorothea's question about the flu shot and the pneumonia shot. I personally, I get both. That's just my opinion, and it has helped me for both. I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't gotten the flu in a long time. And, but it's really personal opinion for a lot of people. But anybody else want to talk about it?
I do. My doctor will not let me leave the office without it. And it does work. It does help. The other thing I wanted to chime in on the thing about prednisone real quick. We have to also be careful with prednisone or any type of steroid, because this year I got on steroids and they sent me into almost a diabetic coma. I'm not a diabetic. I spent 2 weeks in the hospital for DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. And I just think that while we are taking the prednisone, we need to be mindful of that, especially those individuals on here who have diabetes, because it could be, this may sound brutal, but for people who are diabetics, it can be really brutal. My blood sugars were 511. My A1C was 12.8. I have to admit, I brought it down. I'm still working on bringing that down. I am at a 5.8 at this present time. Never been a diabetic. My doctors and everybody was stunned. So they did a test and found out that it was the steroids that sent me into that field. So and also another thing, when they were talking about being tired and stuff, one of the things that I found is that I'm in a diabetic class, and we also have to be careful of the type of foods that we eat. I measure my food just about every day. I try to eat as healthy as I possibly can. That keeps me going, really. I've lost probably in the last 2 years. Part of it was sick weight. The other part is being on the diet. I've lost like 80 pounds already. So
And on her note, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. On her note with the diabetes, I am not diabetic, but I am prednisone diabetic. I actually have to get the thing that will be in my stomach to watch my sugars, because I can't keep track of them as well as what they need. I actually have to be on metformin, and if they keep this high dose of prednisone on for as long as they're talking, I may end up being insulin. I have never had issues with my sugar. And with all of my caseworkers, they're all finding out the same thing. If you're on prednisone, there's a big chance the sugars go crazy. And if mine goes low, I don't go high. So I could be asleep and all of a sudden mine's in my 30s and I'm going into a diabetic coma. I have never been a diabetic. So it's really important that everybody understands that this prednisone, they call it prednisone diabetic, is what they've called it here. I'm only diabetic when I'm on prednisone.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, my doctor also told me that if I have to take steroids again, which I actually had a steroid shot yesterday, and I'm trying to gauge and see how it's going. I have insulin that I keep here just in case my blood sugars get extremely high. I have to give myself an injection. So, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that was one of the very first things my doctor told me about. My doctor at Mount Sinai, he said when you're on prednisone, one of the biggest things you have to worry about is you should be getting tested at least. In the beginning, he had me tested at least every month, but now it's like every 3 months.
Yep.
So that's one thing. There's a lot of prednisone, of course, as most of us know, has a lot of side effects, and none of them are good. Susie, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that before, the reason I say I've had the sarcoidosis a lot longer than I've been diagnosed is because I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome when I was 19. And I wasn't diagnosed with sarcoidosis till I was 46. And I was already an uncontrolled diabetic before I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. So the moment that they recommended prednisone, I said, I am not doing that. And so I've never taken the prednisone. But I honestly believe that my intuition says this, not a doctor. So just so that you're aware of that disclaimer, sarcoidosis makes my diabetes worse. I honestly 100% believe that. I don't know the science of it, but if I get a little cold or something, my blood sugars go up to 500. I'm actually working on getting gastric bypass surgery right now just because my diabetes is more scary than my sarcoidosis at this point. And my sarcoidosis is pretty damn scary. Excuse me, I'll try not to swear. But yeah, so I have the neurosarcoidosis and I have the diabetes. So when I go to the neurologist, they're like, well, we know you have really bad small fiber neuropathy, but I can't tell you if it's caused by the sarc or the diabetes. And it's very frustrating. And I know a lot of people with sarcoidosis get diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and my neurologist actually said that, I'm not so sure there's really a difference between fibromyalgia and small fiber neuropathy. We're probably calling one thing by two different names. But yeah, I wanted to address the fatigue as well, since I have basically been dealing with it all my life. You really have to listen to your body. Your body is your boss. And so what I do is, for the most part, I consider myself homebound. Hopefully some of you are healthier than that. But I choose to use my energy for the fun stuff. So I do my counselor meets me online. My nurse comes to my house for my infusions. There are a lot of my doctor's appointments. I do have to go to my doctor, or I have to go to my physical therapist once a week. A good physical therapist is actually the best pain management I have found. But for the most part, if it's not fun, I don't want to use my energy to do that. I need to find joy in life, and so I try to save as much as my energy for joy as I can. And to answer the question about the shots. Sorry, my brain does that. You guys probably can relate. So I get the pneumonia vaccine religiously, because the first time I had pneumonia was August in Phoenix. And it's like, how the heck do you get pneumonia in August in Phoenix? It's 120 degrees outside, and I had pneumonia. And I was getting pneumonia like several times a year, so I'd never missed that. However, the flu shot makes me sick. I am not saying it gives me the flu. People have argued with me about that, but I think there must be something in it, the way they process it or whatever, the carrier fluid, whatever it is. Every time I have gotten a flu shot, I'm sick for a week afterwards. And so I quit getting my flu shots about 3 or 4 years ago, just because I don't want to be sick for that week.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so Dorothea, what I'm going to do, just so you know, is I'm going to put a poll actually on the support group page about that.
Okay.
And you can keep up on this way. We can get a wider range, and I'll do that by tomorrow morning. Okay.
Okay, that's great. I was just curious, just to know, because you hear so much controversy between the two and whether or not people think it works or not. But I do know that the doctors say that we're not supposed to have any vaccines that's live. So I don't know if that made someone sick or not, but that's what I've heard from doctors, saying that we're supposed to have a different type of vaccine.
From what I've also heard is that people are actually not. It's not the vaccine itself; it's also what they add into the vaccine that people are allergic to. So you have to be careful on that too.
Exactly.
Well, Frank, I just got the super duper flu shot the ones that for seniors, real bad, because I've had pneumonia 3 times this year alone. So I got that super duper. It's supposed to be for seniors, and I got that. Now, am I going to get the flu this year? I don't know, because I seem like I get it twice a year. But that's what they gave me. And he did ask me, was I allergic to eggs?
Yeah.
So I told him no. So that might help.
Do you know who's doing who does the biggest research on sarcoidosis? I thought it was done in Colorado, but
No, Cleveland Clinic is actually one of the biggest clinics, and Mount Sinai is also a big clinic, but they don't do much on the research end as they do on helping the patient. They're more patient driven, but Cleveland Clinic does both, and Dr. Culver is a very well renowned. He's actually on the National Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research Board. He's on their scientific board and on their board itself. But they have research being done all over. There's one being done in Austria right now. And actually, from what I've heard, is the most promising one. It's the one in Austria. They actually got the first animal model, which is in itself is really surprising. Because how can you have an animal model when you don't have a cause? But they were able to actually get an animal model, so that's a start. I mean, I can tell you from my experience. I'll tell you a little bit of I started my own organization in the end of 2011, the beginning of 2012. So I'm actually going on 9 years. There was no money being given to research for sarcoidosis when I first started, and now it's getting a lot better now, and more people are being more. Actually, personal money is also being given to FSR and other organizations for research. There's a big push. One of the, I mean, I hate to say this, what woke a lot of people in the government up is that 9/11 first responders, it's the second highest disease for all 9/11 first responders now. So that woke a lot of people up. And they really, especially government officials, they, when they hear 9/11, they start jumping. So it's getting better. I could honestly say, from when I first started to now, I've talked to a lot of government officials, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. I've actually almost talked to, I think I missed 2 senators and DC. I spent, my wife and I, God bless her, we went to 49 senators in 2 days to speak about sarcoidosis. And I would say, and now they've gotten more responsive. And right now it's a little bit different because of what's going on there. It's a little bit hard to get to and get like funding. Right now everything's at a standstill, unfortunately, in the government. But there are some really promising researchers. FSR, that's the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research. They are actually bridging a gap. What they're doing now is they're actually paying new doctors, people who are just coming out, to become sarcoidosis specialists. They're giving them grants to become sarcoidosis specialists. That has never happened. A lot of the doctors that really are experts are getting up in age. So they really we need some new and upcoming, and so they're bridging that gap. So it's real. There's a lot of changes that have been happening. Actar gel just really recently, fairly recently, like I said, the last couple of years, got approved, and even though that medicine itself has been around for a long, long time, but it just recently got approved. And like I said before, there's a lot of other drugs that they're using for symptoms that are helping, and they're getting a lot of good results. And when it comes to prednisone, I'm not on it anymore. I haven't been on it for about 3 months, 4 months. It really messed up a lot of parts of my body, and so I will never be on it again. My doctors will not put me on it, but there's been a lot of other medicines that have worked. So like I said, in the group thing, I will put a couple of things about medicines. This way you can talk to your doctors about medicines. They've been, the medicines that I'll give you have all been used by multiple people, multiple, big clinics. I make sure that I always keep up on that. And I will put that in a group so you guys can look at it, and if you want, you can print it up and give it to your doctors. Because I always say we're our best. We're gonna fight for ourselves the best. We're gonna care for ourselves the best. So, and that's what we're gonna be here for, is to help each other. And like I also said in the beginning, just because something doesn't work for me or for you, it may work for somebody else. And that happens a lot. I've been on, I couldn't even tell you how many different medicines, and some of them work for like 6 months and then they don't work. And then I've been back and forth. But I've tried as much as I can. I think that they actually it just started a new medicine for my, because I have it in 90% of my body. So so for me, it's I could have a medicine for each part of my body, but for my arthritis part, for my bones and arthritis, I'm just trying this new medicine that my rheumatologist said that he's only heard about like 3 or 4 people that have tried it, and I mean, knock on wood, it has helped my arthritis something fierce. I usually get sick on medicines very easily, because I have it's like some of you others have. I have it in my GI tract also. So when you get so a lot of medicines I can't use, like methotrexate worked great for me. It was outstanding, but my stomach, it just killed my stomach. I was so sick, so they had to take me off of it. But yeah, so that's why we have this group, so we can all discuss like what has worked for each one of us, and what hasn't worked. And then, like, one of the big things I really would like is, when you say something hasn't worked, try to say why it didn't work. What, like for me, like I said, the methotrexate worked great for my sarcoidosis, but worked bad for my stomach, even the shot or the pills. So try to like, when you do talk about stuff, try to give a reason to why, so people can make an educated decision for themselves. That's what I'm really looking for, is to really educate each other. And and then like Victoria, when you were saying you're depressed, believe me, we all know what it feels like. I'll be outright and tell you, today I was crying this afternoon. That's how bad I was. But I don't know. For me, everybody's like, I always say, a lot of people think I'm this strong person, but no, I'm a person, just like you are and everybody else is. So don't feel embarrassed. We'll be talking about mental health, and I mean, a lot of the people who have worked with me on FSR know my what happened to me. I'm not afraid to say it. I actually thought about committing suicide. I was at that point. I actually put myself in a 72-hour watch at a hospital. That's how close I was to committing suicide. I was lucky I had the right people around me, my family, and I have a counselor that I speak to. So nothing to me is off crazy or out of the ordinary. And don't be afraid to talk about stuff. There is no stupid questions. There's only stupid answers. That's what I always say. So that's mainly what I'm hoping this group will be, and we'll all be a resource for each other as it goes along. And like I said, we're going to have, I know Trina already has somebody lined up for us to speak, a professional. I forget if it's a doctor or a psychologist, it's a counselor or something like that. I think it's a counselor, but I'm looking into getting doctors to come and speak, try to get some sarcoidosis specialists and that you can ask questions for. And, and then, like I said, we all have a lot of different experience. I mean, we have people here, from 1980s, 1990s, that've been through a lot. And even people who have just started or just been diagnosed, but they've still been through a lot. So we can really help each other out. That's, that's what we're all going to be here for. But other than that, does anybody else have any questions or?
I have a question.
Oh,
Oh, who's first? Regina, go
no.
ahead.
I'll
I was
let
going to
Ronnie
answer the
go
flu.
first.
Who goes first?
I'll
No,
let
this
Ronnie
time.
go first.
So at the same time.
Okay, Rodney, you wanted to say something?
He's on
Rodney,
mute.
we can't hear you.
Yeah, I was going to answer the flu shot thing.
Okay, go ahead, Joseph. Rodney, are you muted? I can't hear you. Can you guys hear him?
I can see him, but I can't hear him.
No. I think LaShawn is trying to talk.
Go ahead.
No, the questions.
All right, Joseph, go ahead. I know you were going to say something about the flu shot.
Yeah, I get a flu shot once a year, and I didn't have any problems with it. And this year, I got a pneumonia shot last year, and this year they gave me Prevlar 13, and that's supposed to be a pneumonia shot where you never have to get one again for the rest of your life. So I don't know how that's going to work out.
You got to let us know.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't tried it yet. Oh, I think we lost Rodney altogether.
Okay.
He'll probably log back in.
I have a question for everybody. Do you guys, any of you guys work full time? And if you do, what kind of insurance do you have at your job? I'm just curious because my job is going from a traditional health plan to an HSA. And I can already tell you in 2021, it's going to be hell for me. Because of the amount of bills that are racking up, and that means more money out of our pockets. And I'm just curious, how are you guys dealing with that if you're working full time and have insurance?
Did you say HSA?
Yes,
What's HSA?
it's a health savings account.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
participated in that. We call it here in Georgia HRA. One of the strictures about them is that they deal with IRS because it's like before tax.
Yes.
So that is this year with using it. Each time I would use the card to pay for like a copay. The receipt that the doctor gives you isn't suffice. You would need to use what you get from your insurance company. I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, HMO, POS, and with your insurance company, they send you the information. That is what you need to get your and over HRA. Because if you do not have sufficient documentation on the coding and visit and how much visit will cost you, then it can come back to you when it comes time to file taxes. I mean, it's up to $300 for 2019, and I maxed that out after maybe the third or fourth visit.
After your visit, everything was paid in full after that?
Basically, with your co-payments, with the way Blue Cross Blue Shield, HMO works, which is all insurances, to be honest with you, you have a responsibility as a patient when you first come in for that appointment. You pay your copay, but say like I just recently had MRI, cardiac MRI. There's a deductible versus a copay, so you have to meet your deductible for each test. So like, example, I had 3 tests done this year. I'm already out of $3,000. It's like, how am I gonna come up with that? But
That's what I'm talking about.
So, but
exactly
the way around that, which I don't suggest because we are very delicate and our care is very delicate. They do have city hospitals. Like here, we have Grady. You do have city hospitals. Some physicians are very in tune to this disease with sarcoidosis, but then you have some hospitals where it's never heard of. They don't see enough patients. And another thing I don't care for a city hospital is the fact that they have a lot of residential doctors. So it's like you can go to the doctor and actually meet with the doctor, but your second, third, fourth, and fifth appointment may be with a resident. Well, that's not helping us if we have to keep explaining ourselves and our care is not properly being documented and follow through like it should.
Has anyone have had anything denied through their insurance company? And I'm asking this because I'm on Remicade now, and I just started in August, and I'm still on what they call whatever it is they keep giving me the medication. So they started at 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and now 8 weeks. So when I got into 6 weeks, going into my 8 week at 6 week, I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. Yesterday I had a migraine, and then blah 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 blah. So my doctor requested that I have Remicade every month now, and my insurance denied that. My
Well, it's
other
all
doctor.
in the documentation, Regina. It's all in the documentation. His wording has to be precise. That's what insurance company look for. I have been in the medical field in the past, and I worked as a referral coordinator for a primary care physician. I have seen insurance companies deny people for even cancer treatments. So it's all in the documentation. We can get with you and get Nikki Givens, which is an ambassador with FSR. I think you're familiar with her. She knows all holes when it comes to insurance and how to file claims and other resources as well.
Yeah, because I'm telling you what, I need the Remicade. I tell you, I need it on a monthly basis now, and I know that I need it on a monthly basis because it has helped me get through a lot of things just these past few weeks. Not only that, for those, I go to Cleveland Clinic, and Dr. Culver is my pulmonologist. Love the man to death. The last time we were at our meeting, had a meeting which was in October. We spent, instead of him doing observation on me or whatever I was supposed to do, we spent the 45 minutes of time that they are allotted to see a patient on the phone to get the liquid methotrexate so that I can do my own injections, and they denied that. Then again, they denied it. So I called my doctor again, and now it's in review, and they won't make a decision for 45 days. Really?
Have you reached out to the pharmaceutical itself? Most
Yes,
pharmaceuticals have social workers that work with them.
yes. Yep. And this just happens to be all through my insurance. They have gone really, really strict on whatever it has to do with formularies. It has to do with this. I mean, it's starting to really be a headache. All I want to do is feel better, have some kind of sense and quality of life.
Regina?
My grandkids.
Yeah. Regina, I would highly get in touch with your representative too. They can get things pushed through. I actually had my representative who helped me, and they actually I couldn't get a CAT scan. That's how, which is weird because I'm under my wife's insurance, and she has state insurance, and it's amazing. I get everything, but they kept on denying me for a CAT scan. So I actually got in touch with my representative, and a lot of times they will get in touch with your insurance
Okay,
company.
are you talking about the representative at like place of employment or the insurance representative?
Your government representative.
Yeah, what Frank is talking about, Regina, Frank is talking about if you have a congressman within your area that's in your district, get with his health director.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They have ways of doing some stuff.
The congressmen in the people in our state, they suck. I'm sorry. Because I've talked to all of them, I'm telling you.
Okay. I'll give you some names to talk to who are in charge of.
Okay.
I know some people that are in the health committee that might be able to help you out.
Regina,
Yeah.
can I
Is that
help you?
Brenda?
Yes, it's
Hi,
me.
Brenda.
Hi. I have a place that I'm going to give you a name. It's called the
Okay.
Foundation Care. They
Okay.
helped me get medicine that my insurance company wouldn't give me because they said it wasn't for sarcoidosis,
And that's
tobramycin.
my issue. That is the issue right there.
Well, I'm going
Yeah,
to
but
tell you, I use these people. They gave me my medicine free, free, not according to my income, or according to my husband's income, should I say, because I'm disabled. But they gave it to me free. To this day, they give it to me free.
Oh,
So I'm
that's
going to give you their number, and
okay.
maybe they can help you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And
All
anybody
right,
else need their
Susie.
number, and feel free to ask me
Hey,
because they helped me
Susie,
greatly.
I
Can
see
you
that you
post
have to
it
go,
on?
Susie.
Pardon me?
Can you post
Pardon?
it on the website?
I sure can. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Susie, thanks a lot for everything. And I see we have 2 new people. Jeanette, you there?
Yep. Yep.
Hi, Jeanette. Can you just introduce yourself and just say where you're from and when you were diagnosed with sarcoidosis?
Jeanette Lakey. I'm from Kewaskum, Wisconsin. I was diagnosed this time last year, almost to the date, with pulmonary sarc. I was treated with prednisone till about April, and I had a CT scan, and they said it was resolved. But I'm not comfortable believing that it's gone. So that's my story.
Thank you for coming. And Cindy, are you able to speak? Okay. Sorry about my dogs. Okay, well, Cindy, I see that you're there, but I guess your microphone isn't on. But welcome to the group. And Kathleen, Brenda put that telephone number. Can you put that in the web group,
Yes,
Facebook group?
yes, I will. I'm doing it now.
Connie, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Connie. Can you just introduce yourself and when you got diagnosed and where you're from?
Yes, I was diagnosed in 2009 with a lung biopsy, but I had been diagnosed in about 1999 with multiple sclerosis, and which after going to Cleveland Clinic, they said it's neurosarcoidosis and not multiple sclerosis. I had been to Mayo Clinic and I had been to KU, and they both came up with a different diagnosis, but my neurologist couldn't figure out what it was. I did have some signs of MS, but so does neurosarcoidosis, has some of the same things. But after going to Cleveland Clinic and going through tests there, where I saw Dr. Tabby, they said that it was neurosarcoidosis. So I finally have a diagnosis after the lung biopsy and other testing at Cleveland Clinic.
Welcome to the
I'm
group.
from Missouri, the Show Me State, Missouri.
Thank you for coming. Unfortunately, we're actually at the end of our group. But we will, just so people who did come in late, we will have the link to this because we did record it. We will put it up on the Facebook page, the Facebook group page. If anybody has any questions, they can contact me. I have my my information on the page itself. So if you want to email me, and we hope we're going to have another one of these meetings on the 19th. It's a Thursday. So, and it'll be, just so you guys know, it's the first Tuesday and the third Thursday of the month. We're going to have these meetings. It's 7 o'clock Eastern time. So I don't know where you guys are at. So you're going to have to subtract for yourselves. And as it goes on, we will adjust times. Like for the West Coast, if we need to adjust it, and we will try to make it a little bit easier for the West Coast and people that are either Pacific or other mountain time zones. We'll try to make one of the group, at least probably the Thursday one. We'll probably move that one time wise, but we're still working on it as we're working with this group. And I do appreciate everybody who did come. And I really think that, this is going to be a really good thing for a lot of people, especially, when you can't get to somebody, you always are able to, contact one of our moderators in the Facebook group. Just so you guys know, I put up the page. It's a starting page. And it actually has all the moderators on it. You'll see it in the group. I put it up this afternoon. You can just hit the link for that, and you will be able to see all the moderators. And this way, you can actually try to contact them on either through Facebook, or if you have an email, and you can message myself, and I can also, have somebody. If I can't answer the question, I will, send it out to somebody who I feel like can answer it. But once again, I do thank everyone for coming, and this is our first one, so we are learning, so please bear with us. And thanks again, and if anybody doesn't have anything else, we're pretty much done for the night.
I'd just like to thank you and all the representatives for everything you do.
Somebody speak.
Yeah, can I ask you one question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you people see each other? I mean, I tried to get on that other thing. I couldn't get on.
All right, Joseph, I'll work with you on that one, on how to get in there. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely talk to you about it. And you have my phone number, right?
I'm not sure I still have it now.
Okay. Well, you're on Facebook. You're in the group, this Facebook page.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll contact you through there, and then we can do. I'll open it up one day and see if this way you can try to get in on it. Okay?
I'm sure I'm not the only one that can't. I'm sure I'm not the only one that can't figure it out.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a couple of people say it, so I'm gonna I'll work with everybody on try to see what's going on with the thing. Like I said, it's new for us, so it's gonna be kinks for it, but we'll definitely work through it. And if I can't get you through, the person that's in charge of this, Rick, he was on it earlier. He can answer any of the questions if I can't answer it for you. So we'll definitely work it out.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Have
Frank.
a good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Frank.
And hopefully see you on the 19th.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good
Thank
night.
you, Frank.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.